Touch it, Dad. Let's throw the ball. Want to throw the ball? Come on, baby. Ready? Can you throw the ball? Throw the ball for Maggie. Hey, Mitch, throw the ball. What if I'm gonna get you? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Quick, 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 quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. One more.
If you talk all the time, you'll never hear what anybody else has to say.
Why would I want to run 260 kilometers? Even more importantly now, with what the human race is experiencing, having a reason to get out of bed other than the normal grind can be a great way to keep you accountable and driving forward both physically and mentally. I've been asked by many people as to why I want to attempt to run 260 kilometers in one attempt. Why would I want to run from Newcastle all the way to Sydney on a rugged hiking trail? Why? There are multiple factors, I guess, that goes into this, right? So, testing the physical limits, testing the mental limits. Okay, well, let's get a little bit more real. This reflection can hopefully give you some understanding as to why I'm so passionate when it comes to your training intensity, your food quality and quantity, and overall stress management for busy people. From a young age, to be honest, I've always battled my way through health and weight management. I was always hungry and would always go in and out of being overweight. I wasn't the quote-unquote skinny kid. I was the big bone kid. I'm sure you've all heard that before, right? Through no fault of my parents, I grew up with this struggle all on my own. I strictly remember my dad sitting at the dinner table and saying, "You don't need to eat that much." While in my head, I'm like, "Dad, I'm hungry. I can't help it." I've been active all my life, growing up within a family that was super active. Maybe not in the gym style active, but we were super active with sport, leisure activities like hiking, camping, and water skiing, just to name a few. I grew up a very healthy family. Again, maybe not the clean food type healthy, but opportunities my parents gave me in life were well above what they had when they were kids. So what did I want to do with this? I'm going to make the most of this platform for my parents gave me and help as many people as I can become healthier, become fitter, and most of all, become a happier version of themselves. But was I actually helping people?
Good boy. Yeah? What, buddy? What? Where are we going? Alright guys, welcome to another episode of running from Newcastle to Sydney, 260 kilometers. Another training vlog. Tune in, hope you like it. Good. So just spending a little bit of time out at the Colo River. You can see all the damage from the last flood that we've had. Well, maybe not just there, but the water's still really, really high. Hey Mish, come on buddy, get your hat. Good boy. So water's still really high, the water's still murky, so it's not really that favourable to be swimming or even put Maggie in there. It's just too many logs and things swimming around and drifting in the water. So a couple of days, going to be heading off on the weekend to do hopefully 55 kilometers. I've just rolled my ankle in that last video. Walking is okay, haven't tried running yet. It's a few days afterwards, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be all good. Okay, so we're just relaxing here at Linwood, which is a golf course, a links golf course, I think is what they call it. Something to do with the lack of trees or something like that. I'm not really sure, I'm not really a golfer. So Nicole and I are out on our anniversary night. It's a Wednesday night, and yes, we have brought Hamish with us, so it's quite early. I think it's going to be dinner time at about 6 o'clock or something, which comparatively to normal is very, very early. Anyway, just having a bit of fun, playing around the park. Wednesday afternoon, rest day, Blue Mountains on the weekend. Here we go.
To cut a long story slightly shorter, getting into the fitness industry and applying what is prescribed by most fitness professionals was a major contributing factor as to why I think I lost my health. A few years into my career, I had a good foundation of clients and well-established motto: go hard or go home. I was the guy whom you didn't want to mess with, right? And typically for people whom could handle it, some results would occur, just not necessarily the consistent kind. So like the general information out there, I was eating healthy, training often, hard. I was counting every calorie, removing every ounce of fat from my food. So I couldn't understand why did I not feel good. I was supposed to be the fit guy. On a typical week, I would teach 15 plus fitness classes. On top of this, I would run, lift weights, all in the name of health and fitness. Little did I know what I was doing to myself. I guess it's that typical thought of you don't know what you had until you lost it kind of deal. To think that I was healthier both physically and mentally before I actually started within the fitness industry is a hard thing to realize. Not only was I training more often than I ever had, not only was I training harder than I ever had, through the typical wisdom of our fitness industry and the no pain, no gain, I had ended up more unhealthy than what I was before I even started my career. Even with all the training and effort, I still could not get a grip of my weight. I was forever going to the gym to burn calories, I was forever hungry, caught in this cycle of training and eating and repeating. I would lose, 5 to 10 kilos and just put it all bloody straight back on again. But isn't that what we all get told to do? Train, eat, sleep, repeat. I was literally living this for years. What was the result?
Good morning. It's 4:30 here at the moment. Still relatively early. Just another really normal day, to be honest. Okay, so it's Saturday morning. I am heading off for a long run. There's a couple of clients that are coming along as well. We'll probably spread out along the way. So we're going from Wentworth Falls to Woodford, where we're going to leave the car there. That's about the halfway mark. It's about 30k. And then we're going to go from running from there all the way down towards Glenbrook, which is about another 25 to 30k, somewhere around there. And then I'll catch a train back up and get my car and head on home. Anyway, here we go, Glenbrook, 5:20 a.m. meeting point. It's time to get going. Okay, so we made it to Woodford. So we just parked the car. We're about to catch a train now. Just met Sandy and Lauren, who are also running some good kilometers today, I think 30 or 40 kilometers. So we're just about to catch a train, another 10 minutes, and we will be off. So catch a train up to Wentworth Falls, and then we'll run back to the car. 5 and a bit K in at the moment. It's about 7.5 to 8K again to some hospital, and then we turn off onto the fire trail from there. I'm just going to wait for Meg. Let them catch up, and then we'll probably separate from there. Looking to be perfect weather for running. I'm just walking up the last little part up at Glenbrook here. Steep descent, just on the pavement. I've just ticked over 57.5, almost 58k in 6 hours. It's a little bit, fitness is just awesome. If you're wondering why I'm not talking, it's actually quite a little bit emotional when you have to push yourself so hard and you know your training is actually paying off, and sometimes there's a few question marks even around what you know you should be doing and what you have been doing works, but we spend so much time improving fitness, we don't improve it a lot. because that's not what works on it. But when you get an opportunity like this and you get to prove it, 6 hours, 58 kilometers through the Blue Mountains, Wentworth Falls to Woodford, and Woodford back down to Glenbrook. I'm fucking ecstatic.
Nature determined a certain compulsive, instinctive ways of functioning. Once you become human, these lines have been removed. Everybody wants a solution, but nobody wants to delve into the problem.
Actually executing on my potential. So transferring my ability to do something into the actual thing. So the easy example I give people is
What does impact mean for you? Leaving a footprint?
not quite. So I have a very specific kind of impact that I'm trying to have, which is to help people actuate their potential. So I think that a lot of people.
What are you doing?
What was the result? I was utterly unhappy with myself, my weight, the way I looked, my performance, my health. I was a mess, inside and out. I was burnt out, struck out. So what happened throughout my time as a busy, successful, hard instructor trainer? I was emotionally eating and binging throughout the first 3 to 5 years of my fitness career. I had this uncontrollable desire to consume more food, and at times I could get away with it by fighting it, and at times, and for most of the times, the hunger won. Eventually I had become so consumed by the idea of trying to help people, I decided I needed a change in career. Maybe not the industry as such, but maybe just a change in focus for a while. Because how can you help someone if you think you need help yourself? I quickly scored a management gig within the company I was personal training with. My first full-time role with my first real boss. It was great. Loved every minute of it. Learning what goes behind the scenes within a gym and seeing and learning firsthand how to develop staff was a truly amazing skill to learn. The chance to work with so many different people from so many different opinions on fitness, health, and life in general was so inspiring. Within 4 years of working, I had quickly gone from a group fitness manager to a fitness manager to a personal training manager to then finally a club manager. Oh boy, did I learn a lot in this time about the fitness industry. Experiences in a variety of gyms in a variety of suburbs really shows you similarities and differences between them all. Over these years of growing and learning, I really got to learn from the best. Had some amazingly motivated managers and some quite not so much, but you can learn a little bit from everyone, right? While I was working up the ranks and gaining new skills daily, I was soaking up the extra knowledge I was learning from all the fitness professionals from each gym I worked at. Speaking with different instructors, PT, seeing what worked and what downright just didn't. Over this time, I was still personal training in the early mornings before the working day had even started. As time progressed, as my knowledge grew, I started to apply the knowledge into my early morning clients and most importantly, to myself. I actually started to really pull myself away from the general fitness industry teachings like HIIT classes, hardcore instructing, and it just comes down to calories, bro. I started to really pull myself away from the general fitness industry teachings like high intensity classes, hardcore instructing, and it just comes down to calories, bro. To see why in any gym I had been at, there were regular people going to the gym wanting to lose weight, but just couldn't. And myself included. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? So I guess you want to know how I ended up as healthy as I am today. And yes, I am that confident in my health. I feel energized, I feel light, I feel strong, I feel fit. I feel like I could run 260 kilometers. I feel like I can take on the world with the confidence built from my new way of life. I feel like I have enough energy to focus on the important things in life. Right now, I am training easier than I ever have. Right now, I am training less than I ever have.
Alrighty, that's our little hike done. Hey, Jux. Yeah. How was that, buddy? So it's Friday, got a bit more work to do. Going to go out to lunch now, is it? get some eggs or something like that. Anyway, so we headed down, came back up again. Time to head home after lunch. Get back. Okay, so we're just walking through the scrub at the moment. So we're down at Colo River, doing a hike that I've done a fair few times now. The total length of it's about 30 to 30 something K. But we've had to turn around because, as you can see, all the floods and water have actually pushed the trees down, and I mean, there wasn't really much of a track here anyway, but what bit of track there was is now literally completely gone. So we made our way down 12k and then made a decision to actually turn back, which is what we're doing now, heading back the other way. So this is about 3 hours in, and it'll probably take us about 4 hours to go back to where we came from, considering we've got to go uphill now as opposed to downhill, but we are in daylight, whereas we started in the dark. Anyway, nice Saturday morning.
And I'm setting bigger goals than I ever have. I'm in control of my diet and know what needs to be consumed to provide the satiety and recovery I need to keep living the healthy life that I do. And to take a little hint, it's not just focusing on calories. Do I have the same trigger foods as before? 110% yes. Open a bag of Red Rock Deli chips and they'll be gone within the minute. I just got so fed up with feeling like shit from these foods and this constant overtraining style programming that the fatigue and soreness from the ridiculous amount of it was just doing my head in. So what come first, the chicken or the egg? A good training program or a good diet? To be honest, I'm not 100% sure which come first, but I know they work hand in hand together. There is no one size fits all when it comes to training and diet. Certain foods provide satiety for some, and certain foods provide hunger for others. Out of the years and hours of research I've completed to land where I am today, I can tell you this. People living busy lives, not athletes, cannot train in the same way as the cover girl or the hardcore personal trainer that is 25 years old, never had an ounce of body fat on them, and eats junk food because it fits within their weekly or daily calories. Stress is the instigator of many problems I faced, and for me, I was training way too often and way too hard with all the classes I was conducting. These workouts were really driving my stress levels through the roof, and I would always have to overeat just to compensate with this fatigue. My everything in moderation diet was keeping me attached to these highly processed, highly palatable, highly caloric foods. I had zero satiety, and I always felt like an empty water hole forever waiting my next fill. For some reason, I just can't help but think there may be other people out there struggling with their own health and body image issues when you're already going to the gym. I've built my business off clients that were already training but yet just couldn't move forward with their health and or physical fitness, just like myself. I have absolutely reinvented myself as a fitness professional. I have taken just about a 180-degree turn in many recommendations to my clients. This has been an uphill battle both mentally and physically, considering I was the commando guy. I was the guy you were to come to if you wanted a flogging. Myself and my clients are true testaments that training does not need to be all or nothing, and just fixating on calories is a sure way to lose your sustainable weight loss battle. This is why I want to run from Newcastle to Sydney, to show that even with the most basic training program that balances with your lifestyle specific for you, you can achieve something that is virtually thought as impossible. Or at least that's what I used to think.